I'm going to take you on a road trip to Budapest, where I spent a few days. Then on the way back home, I got diverted to Trapani. And if you're new around here, yes, the airport in Catania was closed for a couple of weeks, but it's back open and everything is operational. Thankfully, most of the wildfires have died down. Boy, it's been a busy couple of weeks here.
You know, folks, I wanted to officially announce Alfred style that the airport is fully operational, okay? Number one. Number two, come to Sicily. It's August, not even Ferragosto. They got it open. They're moving like 100,000 people, I don't know how quickly. They're efficient. And the next thing is, come in September, October, forget about the airport situation. It's really working well.
And the weather has been unseasonably warm.
And the weather is good now too, yeah. High 70s, low 80s, very sunny. Good time to be in Sicily now.
All right, take a little peek at my trip to Budapest with my sister Bernadette. Ciao from downtown Budapest, St. Stephen's.
Our grandparents got married here, right in the front.
Right over there. St. Stephen was the first king of Hungary, and I almost said Sicily.
She thinks she's Sicilian now. Ez az?
This is layered potatoes with eggs and sausage and tomato sauce, chicken breast.
Jó, az a személyzeti kaja.
Ezek jól néznek ki. Ó, pancake, palacsinta, lángos. The best cabbage right here, best pickles down in the basement. Paprika, of course, is one of the important Hungarian specialties. Chocolates, goose liver, dried paprika. Who was not gonna say it? Malatinsky is a great Chardonnay, and this is Gabor.
Hi.
Where's Gabor? Where's this from?
This one is from Hungary and especially from Villány.
Villány. It's really good and really smooth. The famous goulash leves, Hungarian vino with this view. Are you kidding me right now? Ching-ching. What are you having, Bern?
Portobágyi palacsinta.
What is that?
Deliciousness.
Deliciousness, and what's inside?
More deliciousness. It's ground chicken. No, shredded chicken. It's palacsinta, which is crepes.
Pancake?
Oh, this better not be coming now.
Wiener Schnitzel, wheel, and potatoes. Buon appetito. Gerbo since 1858. This is one of the most famous sweet places in Hungary. Very classy. Famous Gerbo. Right by the Danube with an art display, and then you come out here and sit and have a beer. It says Rosé. Here's the other Eszter.
Oh God.
My sister. We've been waiting for this. And here we go. With the halászlé, and this better be good. This is the fish soup I've been waiting for. Halászlé. I got the small one. My sister got the big one in that pot. This is something you've got to have when coming to Budapest.
Budapest.
Budapest, Budapest.
You're a pest.
And look at me. Ciao. Kuborka salata, cucumber salad with paprika, but it's missing the crema, sour cream.
It's not missing.
We just asked for it without it.
It's so good.
Oh, this trip was great, but now the flight is diverted to Trapani, 5 hours from Catania, and another half hour to our house. We're supposed to arrive at 9:30, 10 p.m. Budapest Airport is pretty big. Lots of shopping, lots of restaurants.
Hello.
Hungarian, Italian, or English?
All.
All. Grazie mille for this incredible flight. Midnight, Trapani. We are the last flight to arrive here in Trapani. And that woman right there is telling us where to go. And she said that there are a few buses coming. And who's this beautiful lady?
Hello, I'm Maggie.
Maggie?
Traveling all day.
Where are you from?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
I used to live in North Carolina, in Raleigh.
Hey!
So, when did you find out?
Oh, about the exciting detour, let's see, 2 days ago, and then today about the delay. And so now I'm really hoping there's a bathroom on the bus, because it's probably going to be a 4-hour trip. And
5 hours. Newsflash, 5 hours.
I'm going to cry and have a cigarette now.
Okay, where are you going?
Final destination, Taormina.
You're gonna be in heaven and paradise. 5 a.m. So I got caught in the diversion because flights were being diverted to Trapani, Comiso, and also Palermo, and I was diverted to Trapani, which took 5 hours to get home. My flight was delayed, and so I arrived to Trapani at midnight, arrived back here to our home at around 6 o'clock in the morning. Long day, but what a fabulous trip. And interestingly, on the way there, I was going to do a whole video for you, and it ended up being so smooth and so efficient that I shot the video, but nothing really to see. So while this whole situation started out as a cluster, you know what, but the Sicilians got it all fixed, and now, thankfully, the Catania Airport is operational.
Last thing I wanted to say about the airport and how many people actually did get bussed. I was reading online on the official documents there that 1,100 buses full of people who were supposed to land in Catania ended up getting bussed back to Catania from the 3 airports that did it. 1,100. So you figure, what, 40 people in every bus? 50 people? So someplace between 40 and
80.
Yeah, 40 and what?
50 and 80.
50 and 80,000 people it affected over the 2 weeks. And as I said, if you had your flight canceled, or if you spent any extraordinary money, you may be able to get reimbursed if you had travel insurance, or even under your homeowner's policy. I know some luggage got ruined because they were leaving it on the tarmac, so make sure you check that and put in a claim if you possibly
advice.
can.
All right, now, before even all of this happened, there were wildfires that I'm sure you heard about that swept through much of Sicily for a couple of days. And Alfred's daughter and grandkids happened to be here on one of the days that was happening. And his granddaughter Rose wrote this beautiful, scary essay about her experience leaving our house and going to the airport in Palermo. So take a listen.
Saying goodbye to my Sicilian grandfather and driving to the airport in Palermo was a much more eventful journey than any of us had expected. The temperature on the island had been consistently exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the week, making it feel as though we were trudging through an oven. As we walked out of our hotel, we were not greeted with the beautiful blue skies that we had grown accustomed to, but with the heavy smoke that engulfed the air. The experience only got worse as we continued our drive through the island. The extensive Sicilian fields and landscapes were showered in blazing fires. It was hard to turn our heads without spotting rising smoke or spreading flames. Due to the departures terminal and Catania Airport catching on fire, our flight had to be moved to Palermo, which was 3 hours away. Unfortunately, this 3-hour drive quickly turned into 5. As we reached the freeway, we were forced to come to a complete stop for an entire hour. Less than a half a mile ahead, a large fire was clearly spreading down the mountains around the bend. People were getting out of their undoubtedly burning hot cars to figure out what was going on. Nobody had any answers, and we were forced to simply be patient and watch the fires around us intensify. When the traffic began to move, we were pushed into a single file line where an officer asked us to roll our window down. He was making each car speed around the bend one by one. At least that was our interpretation due to the language barrier. As we raced along, there were several fires scorching the land on both sides of us. Throughout the rest of our drive, we saw several fires spreading throughout the vineyards, farmland, mountains, and valleys. As we took off to Amsterdam covered in sweat with our throats sore from the smoke, we prayed for all the people that could not get out as safely as we did.
Boy, Al, Rose is a great, great writer. Very well put. But boy, that must have been very scary as well.
It's my daughter Jennifer's, my eldest granddaughter. She's going to Berwick Academy in Maine, beautiful prep school. And it looks like she's chosen the University of Edinburgh in Scotland.
Ooh, so she's going to be around here for a while.
Hopefully,
and of course, there's
2-hour
Johnny.
flight from here. Yep.
There's your other grandson, Johnny. We had a great time. We went boating and had dinner here with Katya. So that was a great time.
Let me say this, okay? My family is a traveling family. My daughter Jennifer has been every place. My son Matthew actually has been with me several times here, but they like to go to the Caribbean. My son Matt.
Well, we have Caribbean-like beaches here. I keep trying to convince Lindsay to come here, but you know.
Yeah, but he's been with me several times. As a matter, I remember one Thanksgiving I took them all here. My 3 kids and their significant others over here. We had a great time, and Katya was there too. My Sicilian daughter, because her and Jennifer had gone to school in Amsterdam.
We still have some seats open for our Tuscany tour. Yes, we do tours in Sicily, but we happen to have a Tuscan tour at the middle of September, and there's still some spots. And if you're watching this now, $250 off per person if you sign up. If you're a first-time traveler with us, if you're a second-time or third-time traveler, of course, you get our regular discounts.
You know, we're going to be expanding into different areas of Italy as we go on. And we figured Tuscany, rural Tuscany now. We're not talking about going
off the beaten path.
We're not going to Florence. We're not going to any of those big tourist traps. We're going to the wine country. What do you have, 3?
Agroturismo.
Agroturismo. What do you have, 3 wine?
3 wineries, cheese tasting.
Yeah. So it's going to be more of a cerebral, relaxing time. And to top it all off, I won't even be there, so it'll be great. She's going to be there along with a colleague that she has up in Tuscany. And if people like it, next year I'm sure we'll have more people, and then following year, then we'll try another area, okay, based on recommendations from our clients.
Yes, but for next year, of course, 2024, the schedule is wide open, and we have a few tours listed on our website, www.yumiansicily.com, and of course we do also private and customized tours as well.
We have about 15 or 16 reservations already in hand, right? Between May of next year, June of next year. Am I correct in saying that? So, book early. I mean, contact Eszter, book early, and this way we can plan it.
So if you're watching this when about a week after that we publish it, a few days, it's Ferragosto time. And what is Ferragosto? It's a national holiday. There's no work, and it's also one of the...
Where did it come from? What's the history behind that?
The Assumption of Mary.
It was what?
Assumption of Mary.
Okay, but what about nationally? I mean,
Nationally, Mussolini made it a very important holiday because he wanted people to do cultural things. So he made all the museums free to Sicilians and Italians on that day, which is August 15th. So it is an important day, and also now a lot of Sicilians and Italians come and travel, and still the national monuments and all the archaeological sites are free to visit.
Most Italian who have jobs, written contract jobs, they have about 6 to 8 weeks off a year. So that essentially means that this period of time, typically August, is when the Italians travel either internationally, and they flock to the United States, believe me. They flock to Miami and New York City and San Francisco. I'm curious to see how my friends who are going to Frisco are going to think about that. But anyways, things are closed up. Things are closed up. If you try to get any bureaucracy, they're down to skeleton crews.
For a week.
Until at least almost till September 1st. Really.
It's definitely vacation time here, and you can feel it. And things are, on the 15th, half a day, or even close some shops and stores. So make sure you check.
Which is why, Eszter, the whole thing with the airport being closed became a political football, because this time of the year is when the Italians from the north step on the planes to come here to holiday. So it's one thing to have us international folks who come in May and June and the beginning of July, but don't mess around with their holiday, their national holiday. They would have been hell to pay. And honestly, one last thing I'll say about that, I hope there is hell to pay, because that leadership down at that airport needs to be replaced. They're simply not up to the task.
100% right.
So we dodged a bullet, so now we're just going to continue on.
And we've done several videos on that. Make sure you put a link on the description or somewhere on our playlist, News from Sicily. It's probably on there. But we've done extensive videos on not only the wildfires, but also the situation at the airport. Summer is great here in Sicily, but let me tell you, fall, there's something in the air. The fall produce is so good. We look forward to that. What else do you look forward to in the fall besides cooler temperatures, of course?
Well, the biggest thing that I look forward to in the fall is, of course, there's no bugs, no flies, no mosquitoes. They all seem to die. I don't know what happens to them. And the second thing is, I know it's fall when the castañas are out, the chestnuts, the roasters are up, and people start beginning to sell chestnuts. In October, yeah, but the fall.
Yeah.
And then also when the figs are harvested, when the big purple figs.
But then no more watermelon, no more cherries, no more summer fruit. But then, as you mentioned, the artichokes will be coming out, the purple cauliflower,
all sorts of grapes,
all the apples, the grapes. That's right.
So it's a different complexion. Right now, like today, we went to the market before we did the show because I needed some fruit. So I bought 2 different types of plums. I bought the purple plums, and I bought the yellow plums, and I bought some peaches. And when I buy...
And grapes.
When I buy fruit, I don't buy like a pound or 2 pounds. I don't do that like I used to do in the States. You get a big bag. I buy 4 or 3 because after 4, if you keep them out, instead of putting them in the refrigerator, they ripen, and by the second day, they're delicious. By the third day, they're delicious too. By the 4th day, they're good, but what I do is I put them in yogurt for my morning, because they're not that good. If they're 5 days, 6 days, forget about it. You can't do it. And if you leave them in the refrigerator, the cold of the refrigerator stops the sweetening, whatever goes on. And you forgot about your berries. She's a berryaholic, this one. Especially the blueberries. She's been eating mulberries. So.
But I gotta tell you, going back to Hungary, boy, really good mulberries there as well. Very, very good, very sweet. And just the whole cuisine, it was just a nice change of pace to eat some good Hungarian food. And I didn't show you everything I had, but basically the goulash, the fish soup, is one of my favorite. Of course, I'm a sauerkraut girl, so the sauerkraut was abundant. The sweets were great. Believe it or not, their ice cream is very good, very different than our ice cream or our gelato, but very, very
Should I
good.
say which one is better?
No, they're different.
They're different.
They're different.
Yeah.
They're different. So my sister and I had a great time, and probably go back there in November.
In November again?
I think so. I think I want to do a few days in Budapest and then go to the United States, maybe for Thanksgiving. Who knows?
You know, people say to me and say to Esther, how come you have such a great relationship? And really, I'm going to tell you what the secret is today. I'll unveil it after almost 10 years, right? We take
10 years. Oh my God.
we take separate vacations. I've got my
Yes, we've
I have
only
my
started that
friends
since
I have my
COVID.
friends in the United States and my family to hang around with just for a couple of weeks at a time, and she's got her family to hang around with not only in the United States but also in Hungary. In Budapest, she's got an extended family. Don't
Yeah.
think that there's
But
like
the-
one cousin there, and they're all her age. So when she goes over there, they like welcome her. Am I correct in saying that?
Kind of.
They don't welcome
Huh?
her.
We're
Do they
around.
get- do they-
I also have uncles, then my cousins have kids, so it's a mix of ages. But I have to say that the reason we started traveling separately was during COVID, because I wanted to go home and spend the entire time with my mom and sisters. You remember first time, and then the first time and then it just made more sense to go separately.
To me,
That's
it's
the
great. To me, it's great, honestly. And the reason is, why is it great, Alfred? Okay, I'm going to tell you why it's great, Alfred. Because it's just great. I just like it when I can do what I want. If I want to walk around the house in my boxers all day, I can do it.
You
no
do
one's got
anyway.
to yak.
You
What?
do anyway.
But I'm just saying. But
You do-
I really
wait,
think...
you
I
walk
think,
around in your boxers anyway. Wait a second. Aren't you sitting
No, I
right
don't
here
have
in your boxers?
on.
Yes, he is.
Not only do I get dressed up for the show, you guys can't see it, but I have a beautiful pair of shorts. I also put aftershave on. Smell me. I have aftershave on, and I brush my teeth, and I comb my hair. No, I don't comb my hair. But yes, I kind of get psyched up for the programming over here, by the way.
We all get psyched up. We
Just so you
love
know.
our community. No, honestly, we love coming to you weekly here to, just show you what's going on, babble, bada beep, bada boom.
You know what I miss?
Joke around. What do you miss?
Okay, one thing I missed, like, I used to miss Dunkin' Donuts coffee until I
We
have
have-
like 11 pounds, because everybody always brings it to me. I used to miss peanut butter, but now I
you
have
have
enough
enough.
peanut butter. I don't know what I could do with it.
And
all, but
jelly beans.
and
Don't bring
Peeps.
any more.
But the
Do
one
not-
thing that I miss, and I don't want anybody to bring it, is they don't have, or it's very difficult to find, cranberry juice. Because I like in the
Yeah, don't
summertime to
bring
make
it.
a Cape Cod, which is cranberry juice and vodka. So here's my question today. What can I substitute if I want to have a Cape Cod? What kind of juice, and don't tell me OJ because I know that, but what other juice do you suggest
How
I
about
could
cherry
have?
juice? There's a bunch
Cherry
of
juice
juices.
is like $13 a bottle. It's
There
so,
is?
oh,
I don't know.
it's so expensive.
All right. Well, anyway, on that note, we look forward to hearing from you. And do you have anything final to say?
I want to give a shout out to a couple of people if I possibly can.
Sure.
My friend Peter Cipoletti and his wife, who are awesome people. Last time I was supposed to meet up with him,
What
and
happened?
I got 18 appointments.
Overbooked.
So, Peter, you're at the top of my list, okay?
Next time.
I promise you, when I come in October, we're getting together. Maybe we can go to that place in Amesbury my brothers always talk, Molise, the restaurant Molise.
Okay.
All right? That's number one. Jim Ingram, who's a great pal of ours, and, I entrusted him a family heirloom to get repaired for me, my watch, 5 weeks ago. And I'm hoping to get a report from him to see if he can get it restored. I'm hoping he could. That thing was given to me by Napoleon. No, it wasn't.
On that note,
It's a good watch. Jimmy, how's the watch doing? Wait, there's one other person.
you said two.
I said one more. There's one
Okay,
more,
one
okay?
more.
All my friends from Austin Prep, okay? I have a ton of guys that are still living, barely, but they're still living, especially my friend Bill Dixon, who I went to grammar school, high school, and college with. Can you imagine that? So, Billy, I hope you're okay, and he wants to switch our place where we have breakfast,
Okay.
I'm like ambivalent about it. We go to this place called Mary Ann's Diner in Salem, New Hampshire.
Why
Great
does he want
place.
to switch that?
He wants to go to the
Classic.
Irish Cottage.
Well,
So we're gonna end
we
up
know
having
why,
we're
right?
gonna end up having a 6-pack of beer and a potato. Typical 7-course meal, right, Billy? Love you.
On that note, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe, and of course we have lots more videos on our playlist. Explore Sicily and foods and culture and history and so forth. We love you guys.
Se benediga.
Ciao.
Grazie.